Okay, it's recording.
Cool.
Is it strange to see me in this capacity, Joan?
It is, yeah.
Joan?
A little bit. Joan?
This is going really well. Do you feel nervous?
A little, yeah.
Hello, world. I have here today my very handsome boyfriend, John Gallagher Jr.
Hey, how's it going? It's great to be here at home with you.
What are you drinking?
I went to several grocery stores just to procure garage beer.
Your hand shaking?
Yeah, I'm nervous. That's the DTs.
What's DTs?
The Tremors, Delirium Tremens.
Oh, I love that beer.
It's a great beer. I
this
discovered
is not going to go on. I'm going to cut this out.
When I was living in Upper West Side,
Your mom?
99th Street. No, when I was 19, I was living with my friend Aaron Lee Tastian.
Oh, yes.
And I went to a place called the Abbey Pub, and I had a couple of Delirium Tremens, not realizing how boozy they were.
Oh,
and
hefty.
I went to a rehearsal the next day for the very first workshop I ever did of Spring Awakening, and was violently ill in the middle of rehearsal.
What percentage is this?
It's 4%. It's lighter than a Miller Lite is 4.2, which is the same as a Coors Light. Coors Light is 4.2 and Guinness is 4.2. That's my bread and butter. I don't really want anything much more than that.
You drink beer to hydrate.
Yeah. I want to drink several. I don't want to just have one and be like, oh, God, that was brutal. That's why I can't get down with the
don't
IPAs.
Want you to do that either.
No, it's not good for any of us.
Okay.
Let's see, how am I doing?
Okay, so...
Let's get down to brass tacks.
It's funny because I know you so well, and I thought I'm not going to have any questions. I feel like I know everything, but there's a lot that I don't know.
Well, it's funny just being in a relationship and you live together.
Take it for granted.
I feel like your day-to-day starts to be like, did you sleep okay? Are you hungry? Are you tired? What's up? Why are you upset? You're mad at me? We wouldn't sit down like this otherwise. And you
facing
wouldn't,
one direction.
You wouldn't write out a series of questions to ask.
That's true.
Until now.
These deep conversations are usually just like, what have I done wrong? I'm sorry. Just pedal me. Okay, so my first question, when did you decide that you had a voice worth listening to? I know that you were born into a musical family, but when did you first hear your own voice and think other people care to hear this? Because I sing, but I just know deep down, no one wants to hear this.
I still, to be totally honest with you, I still don't think I have a voice worth listening to. I like to sing.
You like to sing?
I like to sing. I like to sing. But I still really struggle with the sound of my own voice, as I think a lot of people that I know do. You listen to, a recording back and you're like, that can't be. That's not what I sound like.
Do you like how you sound in your head?
More or less. I've made peace with it. I've gotten more comfortable. The first few times that I listened to my recorded voice, I didn't enjoy it. And it really took making more records. I think just getting more comfortable being in the studio and recording and sort of knowing that there's going to be a disconnect between what I hear while I'm singing, what I hear when I'm in a vocal booth, what I hear when I'm on stage, and then what I hear coming back at me, out of two speakers. But I've reached a pretty comfortable place these days where there's a lot of other singers I'd rather listen to. But I've made peace with sort of thinking, I like the way I sing. It's sort of developed through time. It definitely got stronger. I used to lose my voice a lot in the early days when I was playing in bands because I really didn't have any vocal technique. I liked writing songs. I liked singing. It didn't really matter to me as much in the early days what people would think about my voice. I sort of knew it wasn't perfect. I knew it was sort of rough around the edges. And especially when I sort of tripped and fell into doing musical theater in 2005, 2006, I really wasn't trying to do musical theater specifically because I knew I didn't have like a powerhouse voice and was very self-conscious about it. But, I grew up listening to a lot of rock and roll records and folk records.
Did you try to develop that voice, the Broadway?
No. It just didn't come natural and felt like...
Didn't want to push it.
If I had to push it, then I knew it would be something that I was like entirely fabricating, and then I just sort of knew like instinctively that I was like, well, that's not going to be organic and that won't be me.
I guess it's the same thing. You never want to feel like you have to force a character. If it doesn't come naturally, you just sort of accept that that's not within my ability and let it go? Or do you...
Yeah, I do think obviously pushing yourself can be a pretty transcendent experience, but I think there is something to be said for just whatever catches the most current. Like if you feel pulled in a direction or if something sort of comes more naturally to you, I think that's usually sort of the first instinct is worth listening to. Sort of like, well, what's the best idea? What's the easiest? Not that you want to take the path of least resistance, but you gravitate towards something for a reason.
Right. What are my unique contributions and just being happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
I struggle with that a lot. All right, we're moving on. You're an incredibly candid person.
I don't know if I answered that last question.
Oh, did you not answer? Oh, what came first? The need to write music or the need to perform?
Probably perform. When you're a kid, you're just sort of a ham and you just want to get up and be seen and But by high school, I knew I wanted to write songs.
Right, you're self-taught.
Songwriter. I took guitar lessons when I was in the 5th grade, but I sort of gave it up because it wasn't coming quickly and I was very impatient. But then when I was about 14, I started teaching myself. I got a book of chords that somebody had given me and took my sister's guild, which is right there behind you, as a matter of fact.
Oh, that's still the one.
Yeah, that was my sister Joni.
The one.
This was my sister Joni's guitar, but that she learned playing guitar on that guitar, and then I sort of stole it in high school, and I've been taking care of it ever since. But yeah, I started writing and learning chords on that. And I think like once I was in my early 20s, to go back, circle back and answer your question, I think that's when
this is the first question of like 10.
I know. That's when I sort of realized like a big part of it was getting Spring Awakening. Like that was very validating. That it was like, well, these people could have like anyone singing in this show. They could have a Broadway star, somebody that can really belt. They have chosen somebody sort of unpolished and rough around the edges, and my voice was not sounding great in those early recordings, but they value the character and the passion over sort of perfection. So that's when that sort of gave me the confidence to be like, I'm gonna start writing more. And then I started playing with this band Old Springs Pike that I was in, which was full of my high school friends, and playing live in that band was probably the first time that I really started to feel genuinely like confident. Like 19, 20, 21, 22, I was playing out a lot live, I was playing with a band, got cast in a show that went to Broadway. So it was a very sort of encouraging experience.
I can't imagine there being anything more validating than starting a band with your friends and being elected a singer. And that must mean my voice
I can't be terrible. Yeah, it can't be that bad.
Maybe that's what I should do. My mom still, and you've been there when she's brought it up, loves to remind me that I tried to teach myself guitar in high school. And I physically broke it.
Broke the guitar?
Yeah.
On purpose?
Absolutely not. I was dancing to Finch. Remember that band?
Sure.
With my friend Carrie, we were dancing.
That
was the song that we were listening to.
I remember them singing that on Conan O'Brien. I remember just
stomping my foot right on the neck of the guitar. And
That's
I
hardcore.
thought my gift to the world is to never touch a guitar again, except to deliver the broken one back to my mother and apologize. Perhaps the first apology I ever gave my mother. You're an incredibly candid person. And as far as I know from what you've told me, you've always been that way with your parents. Like the things that you tell me you've told your mom when you were very young. Mm-hmm. Really remarkable. What was my question? Oh, yeah. You're also so publicly vulnerable, which I think is what makes you such a beautiful actor. There's just a wall that you seem to not have that so many others do have. And I wonder in your musical life, if there's perhaps a channel that's not open in your personal relationships, your relationship with your therapist even, or in acting that music fulfills for you.
Yeah, I absolutely. I think so. I get to sort of, through songwriting, I think one of the magic elements of it is that, yeah, you do get to choose how open, how raw, how real, how honest am I going to be? And in doing so, what do I want to talk about? Is it about me directly? Is it about something that I see in the world? Is it about something that a friend is going through? Yeah, I sort of hold myself to a bit of a standard, and I've always been this way. Even when I was a teenager, I just knew that I wanted them to cut through. I wanted them to resonate with people. I wanted people to have those aha moments where you go, oh my God, I know that feeling. Because that was always sort of that was a big early eureka moment for me listening to music, was that I was drawn in by confessional singer-songwriters. Remember, I was in the 5th grade when my mom played me Jackson Browne's first record for the first time. And, I was like, what is this? This man is like, it's a rock and roll record, but it's acoustic guitars and harmonies, and he's singing about like a friend who died, and he's singing about a lover leaving him, but it wasn't overtly sort of precious or saccharine. I owe a lot to my parents because I saw what worked on them, and I could see my mom, how moved she was by this music. And I remember thinking, gosh man, I would love to have somebody be driving along one night listening to one of my songs and going, oh, I know what he's talking about. And that's fueled me ever since. If I'm being real and honest about my experience, I think that will land with somebody out there.
Do you approach your acting that way too? Does that cross your mind?
I think so. Well, I just think, I know that there's a lot of schools of thought with acting, and I think we live in an era where it's way cooler to be strange.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we equate odd performances with being like, oh, that was really good. And people were like, wasn't that weird what he did? I loved it. And that's all well and good, and I think like you can get to some really sublime, interesting truths by being absurdist or sort of trying a sort of really a left of center approach to material. But whatever I'm doing, whether it's with my music or with acting, I'm like, I think first and foremost, I want somebody to watch that and be like, I believe they're going through that. I believe I think they mean that, and I think it'll probably mean something to somebody else because they'll believe it and sort of internalize that.
It's still amazing to me how you seemed to avoid developing this sort of hipster mentality. I don't know if you went through a phase like that when you were in high school. When you're younger, it's not cool to care about anything.
Yeah, I think it really. I have two sisters, and
I just find
have always been so close with my mom. And then,
do you ever go through that phase though of like, nah, fuck this thing, it's lame.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't care, even especially when you care. You did.
And I mean, I think I still sort of struggle because you sort of see in the music world and in acting, I feel like a lot of people that sort of trend upward are aloof. It is still very cool to act like you don't care. And I've always sort of felt like, am I trying too hard? Should I have more apathy? And then I have to sort of block all that out and just be like, what do you believe? What do you feel? What do you want to do? What's real? What matters to you? I remember when I moved to New York when I was 18 in 2002, and the first ever hipster that I met, and sort of realizing, all the stuff that I like is not seen as cool here. What am I going to do? Then I think I just sort of waited everything out and realized, these cycles are going to sort of go through and the trends are going to sort of rise and fall.
Come around a bit.
But yeah, I'm lucky. I've always been really close to my mom and my two sisters, and then my dad really mercifully, sports, toxic masculinity, not around in my house growing up. And I don't know what I would have done if that had been something that I would have had to contend with, very sweet, soft people, and a lot of acceptance.
You're beautiful and I love you.
I love you too. You're very beautiful as well.
I was wondering if you feel like you can recognize a persona in your music when you're writing or when you're on stage, or maybe even a per song thing.
Yeah, I think so. That's interesting. I mean, I think there is like an inner Charlie Brown that I have that I think is sort of in a lot of my songs that, is sort of running to kick the football and only to have it yanked out from under him and fall on his back. There's sort of an underdog mentality that is sort of my everyday approach.
It's funny. I feel like watching Charlie Brown Christmas was akin to watching a Gallagher home video.
Sure. When I think of like Back in Berkeley, Instagram Crush, or the narrator of Tough Spit, and even in Never Leave, which is a finger-picked sort of ballad, but there's an underdog. There's a person that is sort of struggling to do the right thing, say the right thing, be the right person, love the right way, live the right way, and is sort of tripping and falling throughout. But that's integral. It's a sort of center to the journey. It's so not interesting to hear sort of a song about somebody that's like, I did everything right and I'm having the best time.
I'm almost envious that you have a character telling the story that's specific. When I'm writing, it's sort of a cloud mess of thought, like, oh, that one. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's look at that. Let's analyze that. Okay.
I relate to that. I feel similarly. Like, I don't always sort of set out and think, like, here's what I'm going to write about and here's, the perspective that it's going to be.
But even the identity. I feel a little identityless, I think, when I start writing stuff.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, that must be very freeing. I've always been sort of envious of people that can do the storytelling song, like that can be like...
You do the storytelling song.
Well, there is storytelling, but I can put myself in other people's shoes, but I'm reluctant to speak for anyone but myself. I've never really quite felt ready to sort of co-opt it and sort of write from it. I mean, I think that's
What about fictional characters?
Well, I think that's why I like writing... Well, I mean, this would be fiction too, but in a way, it even still feels
Well, that's what I'm saying, but you still feel like you're co-opting even though it's fiction?
Somehow, with songwriting. In a little bit. I mean, I definitely have songs that are where I make it very clear that it's not, me, Johnny, singing the song. Like when I started out, I think I wrote a lot of songs that were very clearly from the point of view of somebody else. But the last few records, most of the stuff has been very first person. You sort of know, he seems to be singing about something from his life. But I think that's why I've started to write screenplays in the last few years. And I actually really do enjoy having, making a lot of characters talk to each other. But the music, I find it easier to just talk about what I'm living through.
On the write what you know thing, who's your favorite porn star? Are you ready to share? Is there one specific porn star, or is it like an amalgamation of all the porn stars?
I don't have a favorite porn star. There's some incredibly innovative performers in the field.
What does that even mean?
No, that is a lyric from the first
Tough Spit.
Tough Spit.
Yeah,
first single and track one.
Your favorite porn star is far right wing.
Is far right wing. That lyric sort of, I don't want to blow up anyone's spot. And that again is like one of those interesting songs where the verses, I switch, point of view in that song, verse to chorus. The verses are all, you do this, you do that, you do, Tough Spit.
I don't really want to get shot.
Wait, is it tough? I can't remember my own lyric. Tough
spit, you hit snooze and slept
it's all
in
you,
past
right?
10. Yeah.
But then the chorus is, I was going to go to the store. I don't want to get shot. So I'm
to
sort
breaking
of
news.
Yeah.
Hey, this just in.
Man, this just
Man.
in. Your favorite porn star is
Specifically
Far
man.
Right Wing. But so I'm like imagining talking to like that.
So it's not your favorite porn star. It's your.
It's not John Gallagher Jr.
Star.
But it's like, what if? Yeah.
Imagine
I think
if
that
your
I was
favorite porn star did not align with you politically.
I was finding out at that time. It was sort of an era where I feel like learning that anyone that you sort of dug that might not share your ideology, right. Whether it was like your favorite songwriter but I just found the idea sort of funny to find out if there was an adult performer that you were quite fond of, and then you found out that they didn't align with you ideologically. That just cracked me up as something that might dismay you in your day.
But is there not something really hot about your favorite porn star not aligning with your politics?
I mean, yeah, that you can put that in the lyric as well. That maybe it's not the worst. It doesn't have to affect your enjoyment. I mean, that right? You separate the artist from their.
We're drawn to the opposite foreign thing, and getting very close to it.
Yeah, I
dangerously
think,
hot.
Yes, right. Yeah. Maybe.
Okay, where are we? Oh yeah, speaking of like the hottest women you could sleep with. So, before I get into this next question, I want to pull up something that you said in a recent podcast interview for RIYL. But the merciful thing is that I am in a new relationship and incredibly smitten and very happy and feel very lucky. So, I don't want anybody to worry about me here. I'll hopefully land on my feet. So, it's not my question. It's Carson Kelly's question.
Are you like sourcing out questions to friends?
I was on Marco Polo with him. So you're a musician, and do you have any music-y questions for Johnny? So Carson Kelly posed this question that's actually from Almost Famous in response to your new hit single, Mitsko.
Everybody's playing it.
Everyone, yeah, it's about a supernatural, like, fairy woman who has, like, healing powers. She sounds awesome. Do you have to be in love to write a love song?
I mean, I think everything is sort of love and yearning. I really do. Have you ever heard of a little song called "I'm Always in Love" by Wilco?
Oh yeah.
I sort of feel that way. I think we are always in love on our worst day and our best day. I think we are sort of always in love with something or someone, or in love with the idea of trying to get to another place. I think that there's an engine. Love is an engine. It helps if you're, it really does help if you're over the moon for someone. You can really knock out some fun love songs. It's very intoxicating and sort of disruptive, and it's sort of all you can think about, and therefore it's all you can write about at the time.
Well, also that's sort of infatuation, because you've also told me you had written songs about me at the very beginning of our relationship. Now that we've been dating for over 2 years, you're like, I just feel less, compelled to write music about you, because we're sort of in this cool place.
Yeah, I think there is phase one.
But that's being in love.
Phase one, yeah.
We're in love now.
You think phase one is infatuation, and then yeah. I mean,
I think
there is some infatuation. Obviously, those first few months, your brain, it's
probably harder to write about deep love. There still has to be some kind of compulsion.
I don't know. Yeah, I think if you're lucky, you just keep sort of riding the wave, and then there will be another batch of songs. There will be more. There will always be more. Hopefully. I mean, unless the well runs dry, but God willing, that won't happen. That's the well of inspiration for songwriting.
On the note of what compels you to write something, is there a certain feeling or energy that you find the most catalyzing for songwriting, specifically?
I mean, I do,
I have an opinion about this for you.
Oh, yeah? What were you going to say?
Loss. Since I've known you,
yeah.
Goodbye or Something came out, and then you were touring with that, and so all the music I was hearing was about a huge loss in your life.
Right, yeah.
And then, of course, we had this really fun year. There were a few songs about me, Love, 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 and then another really big loss in your life, and then came more recorded music. Mm-hmm. Coincidence? Or...
I mean, yeah, like you said, I think that is the most galvanizing.
It's not love, it's the opposite.
It's love and loss. I mean, I mean, that's my favorite music to listen to. It's obviously I think that sort of encompases all. I think it all sort of that's one sort of giant umbrella.
That's the life experience.
That's the life experience. But I do find it to be to be the thing that sort of I get the most lit up about. You feel excited about something new, or you feel devastated about something that you've lost, and those two things I always make me want to reach for the guitar.
Yeah, but very live, active feelings in your body as opposed to like a memory.
I don't know.
Although there's Lito Lane is sort of memory.
That's the thing too, is I get
nostalgic. Well, I think on Almost Okay, it's Never Leave. The first 20 times I heard it, I cried, and All This Changing.
Yeah.
Which are both sort of a longer span of time, not such a sharp wound, more of a dull ache.
Right. Yeah. And I think too, like I look forward to reaching back into my past and writing about stuff that I haven't touched yet and stuff that I haven't necessarily looked at. I've had this feeling sometimes that I think like, well, as I get older, my experiences are going to change, when you're younger and you're sort of throwing everything against the wall, like when you're running around in your teens and your 20s and you're getting your heart broken and you're having like wild adventures, like there's a ton of grist for the mill that you can gather. I think like I'm in my 40s now, and sometimes I think like,
we're settled.
Oh gosh, like what's gonna rock my world, in my 40s? It's gonna make me want to write songs, and I like the idea of going back and like writing about things. It's funny, Meets Go, which is a song about falling in love with you. Just as it would happen, I don't even really remember how it happened. When I sat down to write the first verse, it was all about trying out for the drum chair in the jazz band. And that was like the jumping off point, and I didn't know where I was going with it. And I just thought, I didn't make the drum chair at P.S. DuPont. I couldn't read the music. Mr. Chapman just stuck me on the shaker, the cowbell, and the gong. Which is true. I couldn't read the music in the 6th grade, and so I was put into auxiliary percussion and hitting the cowbell, and that's what I had to do. I couldn't play the drum set. But I really loved writing that verse about 6th grader Johnny, and it made me think, oh, now that I'm older, I really would love to go dig through some journals and look at pictures and write some stuff about my past.
Did you keep a journal in 6th grade?
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
Can I read it?
Sure, it's not very interesting. I found one in my storage space recently, and it's mostly like, I can't wait to see Independence Day this summer. This morning I had 2 pieces of toast and some scrambled eggs. Anyway, gotta go to school now. Hey, sorry I would apologize to my journal. I'd be like,
no, it's
so
amazing.
Sorry.
It was a third-party entity.
But I also really sort of felt like I'm writing for me, but I really hope somebody finds this one day.
The posthumous.
Especially when I was a teenager, I was like, I gotta write these amazing entries. I really wanted the journals to be
I relate
like,
with that in my adult life.
Yeah, I was like, when I die a tragic young death, someone will find these and be like, he was brilliant.
He ate eggs and toast. Both together, imagine. So, the title of your album is Okay, the Goal. If you say you're almost okay, it makes it sound as if okay is sort of the best you can hope for.
Right.
Is there beyond okay? Do you aspire to that?
It's something that I come back to a lot, in that for many years I was struggling with a lot of anxiety in my early 30s. And I remember talking to my therapist and being like, I feel like what I really want, I'm visualizing a dial, and it's like I'm either all the way down here or I'm all the way up here. And I remember just being like, I just want to get here. Like, I just want to be in the middle. Like
stability.
Just like visualizing that. And that I would be like, I don't want to be like either sort of ends of mania. Mm-hmm. I just want to be an even keel. And because we traffic in the entertainment industry, and you're always sort of searching for like
very strong forces pushing from every direction.
That we have so little control over, and like we want to be big rock stars, a big movie star. We want to be sort of the best at what we're doing at any given moment, and so much of it is out of our hands. There can be these weird moments where you're like, hey, guess what? You've been handed the keys to the kingdom. You're going to have this starring role on this amazing show on Broadway, and then a couple months later, actually it's going to close early, and it didn't make any money, and so you're always sort of going like that, and just sort of trying to figure out a way to walk through all of these highs and lows without having to be victim to the high or the low, of just like, how can I kind of walk through all of this and stay sort of in one kind of safe place.
So being okay to you sounds like having a sort of sturdy, reliable sense of self.
Yeah. I feel like when I wrote that I was just thinking like, oh, I was so sort of not okay for such a stretch of time that to be like, I'm feeling like I'm almost okay was a really novel and invigorating realization. Yeah, I think that's where it came from. That's why I wanted to call the record that.
To me, it's also just a big part of maturing.
Yeah.
That you don't have to always aspire to being way up there, because being way up there often means descending way down there in a sort of level-headedness. and reasonable outlook on the world and your expectations, what you're going to get from it. Although I think we relate in this way that we go in with really low expectations so we can be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I've just learned to sort of be like, I'm not going to have any expectations in a way. Like I'm sort of like, I don't know.
That's probably the right way to look at it.
How this is going to go.
Rather than talking down, because I'll talk down.
Oh, I still go
I'm
both.
not going to... Okay.
I still go both ways. I mean, I
right. That's why we're almost okay.
Yeah, I mean, I accidentally entertain the thing where I think like, what if the show sells out? Will that sold out? Can we cut that in? Can we redo that?
We'll cut that in.
I'm like, what if the show sells out? What if the show sells out? Will that sold out? I'm guilty of the thing where I think like, oh no, I committed the cardinal sin of allowing myself to imagine the sold out show or starring role or the incredible payday or whatever it is. And then the minute I get into that, I'm like, oh no. But again, it's the dial in the middle. But then to go all the way down to like, whatever, this means nothing and I'm not going to get it, it's never going to go my way, is also unsustainable.
Sure.
But if you go like, I don't know how it's going to go. I'm going to go play the concert and maybe it'll be sold out, maybe it won't be. Or I'm going to go do the job and maybe
the
people
mystery,
like it, maybe they won't.
Like if you're just open to surprise, if you allow yourself to be delighted by surprise and not let that surprise have a specific shape, color, sound, all of life awaits you and will sparkle for you.
Yeah. Wait and see is a big one for me. Like I just like when I'm feeling anxious, I'm like, just wait and see.
Yeah, became obsessed
you don't know
with
how
really,
it's gonna go.
Yeah, live for the story, not for the outcome. Major thing. I remember being taught about intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation in high school. My school counselor recognized like you're 100% extrinsically motivated and you will never be happy if you continue with life this way.
Oh, is that like you're looking for external
validation? What does everyone else want from me? What will make everyone else happy? How do I impress everyone, et cetera, rather than what do you want to do? What feeds you and leading with that.
Yeah.
And it's impossible, if you're trying to live in the capitalistic society, to completely divorce yourself from extrinsic, because you have to keep in mind what everybody wants and what they'll pay for.
Right. I know that's a difficult one. Yeah, I try to write songs that I would want to hear, that I would want to listen to, or like when I'm working on any writing project, or even when I'm performing, whatever it is, I just think like, what would excite me if I saw it? Because I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. That's the only reason why I write songs and why I act, is because I'm a fan of these art forms and always have been and probably always will be. And so I just try to get back to like, what would Johnny the fan dig? And then that's a big part of what motivates me. If
you could really sustain a life 100% on music, would that be your preference? Would you miss everything else? You have told me once that you just wanted to be a rock star, and if you could do that, you would drop everything else.
I would, yeah. I mean, if it went that way, if I could sell out Madison Square Garden and like, Phoebe Bridgers just announced this last minute show. It's an incredible thing. $1 ticket headline show that sold out like immediately. And not comparing myself to Phoebe Bridgers, she's brilliant and is a very established artist. But when I hear about somebody being able to drop a last minute Madison Square Garden show and sell it out, I just think like, God, I just like to sell out like in 1,000 cap or a 900 cap, 800 cap, even a 500 cap, and tour on that.
And then also just make music full time and not act or all the other things you do.
That would be rad. I would love, I would love to be a full time musician.
You hear that?
I just don't have the
tickets.
I don't have the draw.
What is it now?
I'm not
June
established enough.
2028.
June 2055. I'll be playing MSG.
Oh, there won't be a New York anymore. We'll be underwater.
That's why I'll be headlining
underwater.
it. Because I'll be under that.
What if the show sells out?
I'm sad. I'm reaching the end of my questions.
I'm not giving you good answers. I'm rambling.
No, they're great.
No.
I don't want prepared answers.
Okay.
Who's watching? Hello, who are you? What's on your rider?
Oh, it's like not a lot. We ask for like a 12-pack of a domestic light beer.
That's how it's worded? Domestic light beer?
Yeah, like and like maybe
it's usually Miller.
Yeah, we usually ask for like a Miller.
Is that
Sometimes
the
it's Miller,
cheapest domestic light beer?
Yeah, I look for like a cheap domestic light beer. Half of our touring group is sober, and I just think when you're playing a show, if you're gonna have anything backstage, it's like a light, low ABV beer is sort of what I'm usually looking for. But I think we have like bottle of tequila, Espolón Silver, I think it is, and then just like some chips and hummus and carrots and stuff. And the wildest thing on it that we started to ask for was like ginger shots, like lemon ginger shots and Manuka honey, which are
which
harder to
I
track
saw
down.
Being granted once
at the
that
Upton
was
Music
big.
Hall. I gotta say, most, because I am touring at the level I'm touring at, I can't really ask for these things because I'm not really selling out these bigger venues And, when you sell out a bigger venue, I think they do tend to sort of perk up and look at your rider. But the way that I tour... And beyond. The way that I tour, it rarely gets fulfilled. We're lucky if we get to a venue and they've even read the rider.
Well, what a thrill! Surprise!
Hey, but
Live
every
for the
now
surprise!
and then, oh my God, every now and then I show up and
also,
there's a 12-er
I'm sure you
Miller
remember
and...
which venues fulfill the rider and which ones are like, this guy.
You do? Yeah. You remember the ones that fulfill them.
I mean, that's like when I'm on a film set and the food sucks.
Yeah.
They don't care about people.
Right, yeah. They don't want people to have a good time.
The food is the most important thing. The thing that sustains life.
Makes a
food,
big
shelter.
Difference,
If there's water readily available, if you're not thinking about those things, you're not there for people.
Yeah.
Granted, you don't need Espolone to live.
You don't. No.
You don't.
I don't, no.
Some people do.
Some people do, and that's a shame.
And you're not there yet, but we're working on it.
Not yet. But my essential tremors have nothing to do with alcohol.
Not a thing. If you were a more successful musician who was, garnering that kind of audience, what would you add to your rider?
Add to the rider? Oh, man. I don't know. I'm a very low-key person. I feel like I don't need a lot. Like, I can't imagine what I would really need. Champagne. Like a nice bottle of champagne.
You love champagne.
Chips
That's
and
not
guac.
great for your voice, though. Guac. Yes, guac is a step up above hummus.
Chips and guac.
For sure. You can be specific about the brand. Organic avocados only.
Yeah.
Siete chips only.
Yeah, those are good.
Ramblers only.
Ramblers.
Fly it in if you have to.
Rambler seltzer would be
that's
a big
waste.
one, yeah. But I'm also, you've taught me a lot about this, Mitz, is that touring can be really difficult because, try to be like as close to like zero waste as possible. And what can be difficult about the rider is like sometimes you end up with stuff you don't need. And then you're like throwing things away and trying to recycle things. So I'm always like, I don't want more than we need.
I love that so much, and that's literally my next question.
What was it going to be?
I understand you've become a small-scale environmentalist in recent years. How do you find that aligning with your experience touring, both in terms of the ethics of your band and venues? How can we all do better?
Well, I'm not entirely vegetarian, but I've been really skewing vegetarian for the last 2.5 years. We have a vegan in the band. And so, shout out to Oscar Rodriguez. I think we're all a pretty mindful group, more or less. On this tour, in the last 2 years of touring, I don't think I've opened a single plastic water bottle.
That is so sexy.
It's tough because that's often what's in the green room.
I see
as
them.
You just learned. It still is like an unfortunate thing.
Guys.
I know, in the little
Cancel
ones.
Those.
I just don't do them anymore. I don't go near them. I bring a water bottle. I try to find a source to refill it. If I can't find it at the venue, I'll try to find it. And often it's funny. Like I'll go to the bar and be like, "Hey, with the soda gun, can you just?
I got you.
Can you fill this up?" And they'll be like, "Oh, there should be like waters in the green room." And I'm like, "Yeah, can you just fill this up for me?" So I'm like, I don't want it. I'm trying to avoid those. I don't want to dip into.
It's such a foreign concept to people, and I can't. I don't blame them for
Still
not thinking about it, because I didn't think about it for a really long time. But.
Still a lot of plastic cups. That's a tough thing with rock venues. Obviously, it's because you want to be safe. So I think they don't want bottles or glassware because you drop one. And so I get it. But I love like a draft beer. And then the one drag is that a lot of these venues, you'll go to get a draft beer and it'll be in a plastic cup. So trying to avoid.
You know what I'm really into is aluminum cups that are reusable.
Yes. Next
those are sick.
Next time I go on tour, I'm going to bring some of those.
Recyclable.
And I'm going to be that annoying guy that goes to the bar and is like,
annoying guy.
Can you just fill this up with beer for me? It's exactly necessary. 12 ounces. You can charge me the same thing.
Yeah. Like, what majority of the venues were even remotely mindful of their waste?
It seems like some of them. I feel like some of the theaters, I mean, when you're playing sort of like rock clubs, I think they're doing their best. I mean, everybody's sort of just trying to get by these days, and so it might not reflect entirely on their values. They might be trying.
Just certain cities also don't have recycling programs.
It's
so
true.
What do you do?
Are tougher
definitely
than
not composting programs. So.
But yeah, it's something that I was not mindful of in the last like about 10 years ago. But you've really opened my eyes to a lot of my own inner hypocrisy about the way that I was that my behavior was not totally matching like my ethics. There's obviously can be a chasm.
Integrity.
Well, it can be a real chasm between what you believe and then your actions day to day. And I really started to realize that I couldn't divorce those things anymore. I sort of was like, well, I'm going to have to do one or the other,
It's been a beautiful thing to see. This guy became vegetarian like immediately upon meeting me. It was the most wonderful thing. No one can expect this to happen. I did not enforce it.
It started small. It was like we would go out on dates and I would be like, wow, this is where I would normally get the like bolognese, or I would get a burger or a steak, and I just was like, I don't want to do it in front of her. And then it just sort of stuck. And then I was like, wow, vegetables, I forgot. I didn't realize how good they were.
And it was also a great weight loss mechanism.
Incredible. I packed a few on since then, but summer of 2024, wow. Thanks for
yeah,
that.
just disappeared.
Yeah.
Not that that's good. We shouldn't disappear, but...
No. We should stay. We should appear.
We should stay and hold space and take it up.
Yeah.
We're at my final question, which really
great.
breaks my heart,
Oh,
but we do
man.
have a friend
Yeah.
coming over in about 15
That's
minutes.
true.
So
Yeah,
this
we
is
got to
good.
watch Game 2 of the NBA Finals. But I don't know that I've given you good enough material.
You look great.
I've
so
been kind of nervous.
We
Yeah.
can redo this anytime.
Eventually,
You're going to be my
maybe.
only interview subject,
Great.
and we'll become the talk of the town.
Sick.
In your wildest imagination, what is a music career you could die proud of?
I have to dig deep for this because I have to say, like, my own, like that, you know, I've been really trying to get to this place of being like, you know what, if I never can really tour the way I want to tour, or if I never get on a talk show, if I never do a tiny desk, if I never hit these sort of like bullet points that you're supposed to hit to be like, they've made it in the music business. It doesn't have to like grow and be like a through the roof thing, but just some sustainability. I think just like, you know, have a fan base.
Not losing money.
And honestly, not lose money. I mean, I lost so much money on this last
tour.
tour.
But will you
and
be
we'll
thinking
continue
about
to
that
do
at the end of your life?
Probably not. You know, I'm a firm believer. You know, you can't take it with you.
When you're on your deathbed, and you spent years on your deathbed, remember?
Yeah. What you mean in Swept Away?
That's right.
Yes. No, I think just like, you know, records that I'm proud of, playing some shows, getting out there. It's really all about just having the conversation, like singing songs, interacting with an audience, sharing them with people. You know, if I can just stay on like a little bit of a path of just getting a few more people each year to listen, a few more people come into shows, sharing something to the music. If that's something that I can sustain, then, you know, I'll be very proud, very happy.
A reciprocal energy between yourself, your story, and your listeners' experience.
They just play the Bowery Ballroom once.
You will achieve this.
Well, we'll see.
So I'll put that energy into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are all of my questions. Do you have questions of yourself?
Yeah, so many every day, but I've barely...
We'll get to those next time.
I'm tongue-tied. I couldn't even answer the ones you asked me.
Let's see a tongue. It's a nice tongue. It's a very handsome tongue. It's shapely, good color.
I think it's time to end the interview.
Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thank you for yours. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you guys. Love you so much.
Love you, darling.
Love your love.
Thanks
love
for the
your
questions.
music.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for letting me contribute to your art.
Appreciate you waiting and waiting. And it is WADING, folks. It's waiting and waiting. I didn't print lyrics for the liner notes this time around. That's not my song. And again, that might be in the public records, but
let's go down.
You might get in trouble.
I'm not singing any of the
You
right
only have to do,
words.
13 seconds of the song?
I think it's about that, but all of the lyrics
that
are
might be
wrong.
public domain. That's like a classical, you know, that's a hymn.
From the Bible?
It's from the Bible. All right. Well, thanks, everyone.
Give us a wave. Woo!
Oh, my God. How do you feel about it?